what was it? What was it that said Eastern Michigan is the place for me?
The vision of Scott, of Dan, of Game Above, of Keystone. It's what they want to do is special, and kind of, trying to change college golf, because it's been done for a long time. Just okay, everyone goes to a Southern school, goes to a Western school, they stockpile talent, and it's like, why not Eastern? We can do it. We'll support the program, and it's an amazing challenge. But when you're surrounded by people who believe it can be done, like, I love it. It's an underdog mentality, but at the same time, why not Eastern?
When you look at the pieces that are already in place, I mean, you have the Game Above Golf Performance Facility, you have a tremendous top golf course to work off, and now gaining the financial support and the support staff around it. What does the pieces in place and the pieces that are in front of you have to say about what Eastern has to offer?
It's that, yeah, they're putting the money and facilities where their mouth is, and that is exciting. Our facilities going to be the best in the country? You know what? That's such an arms race. I mean, every sport is chasing that. But again, the big thing is just the people and having the vision that it can be done. And I heard Brad Stevens make a famous statement when he was at Butler and what he did for basketball. There's like, everyone must be moving in the same direction, from the president of the university to the janitor. And I feel like that's, every time I walk around here, that's all I feel, is like everyone wants us to be great. And it's exciting to have that opportunity. And like I said, it's an amazing challenge, but I know it can be done.
What was your first impression when you walked into the facility?
Just wow. I mean, it's going to a Big Ten school myself, it's like they would be extremely happy to have a facility like this. And I expect them to come look at our facility now and be like, we need to, replicate what they have. So it's just amazing. And the good thing too, the golf course is right there. You just fall out of the building onto the practice area, onto the golf course. And how convenient is that for any student athlete, any coach, just to work and have some fun.
Let's go back to kind of the beginning. We'll come back and loop back to kind of your vision in a little bit. But when you started this whole journey that you've been on, you were a golfer at Indiana, and by all indications, didn't have a plan to go coach right out of college. It kind of came a little later.
It did. I went to business school, first in my family to go to college. I thought, heck, I want a degree. I want to try to be successful outside of my little hometown. And I thought business is what I always wanted, and was fortunate enough to run a finance company and have people under me. But after a couple of years, I just had this itch of like coaching. I really wanted to coach basketball. You grew up in Indiana, basketball is your dream, but I did not want to go back to get a teacher's education and all that. So just happened to go back, invited back by my former coach at Indiana to talk to the team, and spent the day with them. And my wife, she had said, I've never seen you so happy. And I'm like, okay. And one of my best friends at that time was the assistant coach at Indiana, and he goes, I'm leaving, and in December I'm taking a job, I've had enough. And I'm like, I just took a chance on life. I sold my business and just went unemployed around Christmas, and just with the hope I would even get an interview to be the assistant coach at Indiana. So March 1st, though, I took over there as the assistant coach, running the golf course, and now I'm in Ypsilanti, wearing the green and ready to make Eastern a power.
You kind of bet on yourself to make it all happen. From Indiana, you go to the West Coast, you're at USC, helping coach both men and women. What was the biggest challenge going from coaching men to now coaching men and women?
Just trying to learn the game. I'd never really been around it. I mean, we were separated when I played. Even when I coached Indiana, we didn't spend time together. So you just kind of, you try to learn. I was lucky enough, the woman, Andrea Gaston, I think the greatest coach ever in women's golf. I mean, she was great with me, mentoring me, explaining the sport, how to interact with female student athletes. And I mean, without her, I'm not in this position. I owe the world to her in coaching. And on the women's side, and truthfully, she convinced me to coach on the women's side, because, you're still torn. Lucky enough when you do men and women, like you can go to either side, and just found like that was my path. And again, hats off to her for giving me a chance and being hard on me, but allowing me to coach and really learn. And just without her, I wouldn't be here today.
And then you get the opportunity to parlay that opportunity to coaching Georgia for the last 12 years. What was it that you learned about all the different regions that you've now coached in? You've been in the Midwest, you've been to the West Coast, and of course the South. And everybody, of course, thinks, well, the South and West are the places to be, but the Midwest is just as good at golf.
Yeah, golf is just as good. Our seasons are different, but you can still play golf year round. As we know we're going to do here, we'll just practice indoors and fly. But the SEC's a little different there, but it's just that there's golfers everywhere, and you see them develop. And it always frustrated me being at Georgia and watching Northern schools come down and beat us in February and March. I'm like, how? But after being here, seeing the vision of all that, I was like, I understand how. But the one thing I like, it's given me kind of recruiting pool everywhere by seeing golf on all the different areas.
35 either individual or team victories during your tenure at Georgia. What was your biggest takeaway from your time at UGA?
Just the relationships with the players. I mean, just watching these women, come in there, take them and their families take a chance on you at 16, 17, that their daughter's going to leave at 22, 23 and be ready for the world. And that means more to me, truthfully, than all the victories. I mean, yeah, looking back, seeing their smiles and how happy they were to win is really special. But I just I always have dinner with my seniors after season. We just go out and have fun and kind of recap. And I told them, they were sad, it didn't end perfectly. Their final year, I was like, I would have rather lost or ended it that way than won a national titles with another team. And I think they truly feel the same way. They've been great, and as I've transitioned and supporting, and probably expect them to be around here some. We just love hanging out. And it's fun watching them now have families and everything else. So I take that more than the victories, because if you have the relationships and good people, the victories come.
10 times your teams have advanced to the regionals, and of course you've won the regionals on 3 different occasions. EMU's never made the postseason. What's the biggest hurdle for getting this team into the postseason for that first time?
Just making the players believe. I mean, yes, we need the correct players here. No coach looks very good unless they have talent. I feel like we have talent on the roster, we'll bring talent in. So that's the biggest challenge, is to get players here. And that starts with building a schedule that is a national schedule. So I told everyone in my interview, we're going to play what is perceived as, they're like, wait, that's a Power 4 schedule. Like, how'd you do that? And that's just relationships, and playing those events, and then proving that we need to be invited back each year. So but kind of those 2 pieces, because you get those in place, players will come, and it'll be an exciting journey for them, because we all see ourselves as underdogs. But again, when they see the E at the national championship, they're like, I thought he would do it, but they really did it.
I know off camera we talked that you just had the opportunity to watch the MAC championship. Didn't know that this was going to happen, but watched the MAC this year. What have you seen about the Mid-American Conference, and what do you know about this league as a whole?
I mean, there's been one school that's dominated our sport, and hats off to them for the program they have built. We know we have to beat them. That is our number 1 goal, and we believe we will do that. And so I guarantee you they'll be a little nervous, and they see the press release, and they see the players we signed. They'll be like, that's another school we have to worry about. But again, it's also the vision from our end of representing the MAC at the national championship. And again, Kent State has done that a few times, but we want to make match play. And that in the conference can do it. Again, growing up in Big Ten country, like the MAC was always right there in an amazing conference. And being an Indiana guy, we stole all kind of MAC coaches to try to make our football program relevant.
When it's all said and done, what do you hope your players say they like and admire the most about you?
Just loyal and dedicated to them. Hard on them, made them, probably frustrated at times, but made them ready for the world when it was time to leave college, and prepared for everything that, was there for them. And so that's my ultimate goal. And it's strange, being, myself, but we always tell each other too, we love you. Like, it's just important that they understand there's love, and that everything is done for a reason, behind trying to make them better. And again, my big thing is I just want them ready when they're 22 to conquer the world.
We all have our why. It's different for everyone. What's your why on why you coach?
I love to teach. I see it more as teaching than coaching. Trying to help these players, men or women, reach their dreams of, may it's just trying to play 4 years of college. May it's trying to win on the LPGA Tour. May it's just trying to make the starting five for someone in the lineup, but truly be in there. That's the why. I've missed it for a couple weeks. It's like I'm so ready to get on the road and get this team together and learn, continue to learn their games, and just let them try to get better.
We know that you're a guy that loves to put in work. That's what everybody said about you. Your work ethic is over the top. What do you like to do when it's time to shut it down and relax a little? And we all have to relax. What's Josh doing to relax?
Well, I've been watching the Pacers the past couple of weeks, so I know I'm up in Detroit country, but diehard Colts fan. It's very relaxing to me, watching my teams from my childhood. Then love to work in the yard. I used to love to shovel snow. I guess I'll have to figure out how to rework those muscles a little bit when we get it. But I'd rather just kind of be outside, relaxing, and
they have snow throwers now.
No. You got to work out.